Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Back at it, and let's just say the judge is late to the courtroom. So, as we all know, Elijah Craig and Larceny, both Heaven Hill sub-products that come out 3 times per year, the A, B, and C. Typically, the A is the January, the B is the May, and then the C version is the September. So it comes out 3 times a year. I haven't had a chance to review, in this case, the Larceny Barrel Proof, the most recent one that came out, the B523. And in most cases, honestly, I think I saw it once, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to come back, I'll grab it, and I'll review it on the channel down the road. Haven't seen it since then. So as they say, strike, my friends, while the iron is hot. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't do that. I just said, oh yeah, I'll come back and get it at some point in time because, of course, it'll be there. Wrong. So this bottle in front of me, this is last year. This is the A122. But just here kind of for reference. So luckily, one of my good friends, one of my patrons as well, my buddy Chris Bruno. Chris is a wide, huge bourbon selection. He was like, Judge, why do you not have this on the channel yet? So Chris reached out. So Chris, I appreciate you, my man. Thanks so much. So Chris sent me a sample of the Larceny B523. That just came out, within the last, let's call it about 6 weeks. So the Larceny Barrel Proof B523 is coming in at 124.4 proof. So this is an express quart, so we're gonna keep this one quicker, if that's cool. So when you think about Larceny, what comes to mind? Again, it is a Heaven Hill sub-brand. Number 2 is a wheated bourbon, meaning that the second ingredient in the mash bill, of course, other than corn, the second primary ingredient, I should say, is wheat. So it's a wheated bourbon, which is pretty cool, very unique. And the last thing I'll say is that, again, in addition to it coming out 3 times per year, it's always going to be barrel proof. And then from an age standpoint, you're never going to get an exact age statement with Larceny, but they will say clearly, as defined on the back of the bottle, it's typically they're taking uncut, unfiltered, wheated barrel proof bourbon, and it's typically an age of around 6 to 8 years, kind of depending on the different barrels that they're kind of putting all together. So typically a blend of 6 to 8 year uncut, unfiltered wheated bourbon. Cool. All right, now I will say price standpoint, price typically not too bad for Larceny Barrel Proof. I mean, honestly, prices are going to vary depending on what state you live in, whether or not it's a control state or whether or not the liquor store is marketing up. But the true MSRP on a Larceny Barrel Proof is typically about $65-$70. Again, with taxes and so forth, it might, have a little bit of a range, but you're looking at typically $65 to about $75 on average. All right. So Chris said to me, he was like, Judge, I don't understand why you don't have this on the channel. It's definitely one of the best Larceny Barrel Proofs that I've had in a few years. So I'm like, all right, Chris, I appreciate you sending me a sample of this Larceny Barrel Proof. Again, this one's coming in at 124.4 proof. All right, not bad. So I've already poured it, wanted to air out for a little bit. Again, I owe my man Chris a huge thank you because, like I said, I thought this was going to be just like I've found them before. Easy to find, just sitting on shelves near me in Delaware and Maryland. And it was not as much as easy to find as I thought it would be. That's what you get, right? Oh, man, too funny. All right, let's get into this nose real quick. All right. So I will say, one thing I always love about a Larceny Barrel Proof. Oh, man. I love that deep leather kind of a note. That is very much quintessential Larceny Barrel Proof. Deep leather, soft cinnamon, some chocolate, a little spicy, some darker fruit, almost like some darker fruits in the background, like some plum, almost like some raspberry notes as well, some blackberries, but almost like a dried plum, dried blackberry kind of a note in it. So darker fruits, some leather, cinnamon, some chocolate. It's just very much a quintessential, deep note from a bourbon note standpoint. Very deep, very elegant, very rich. All right, so Chris says this is one of the best Larceny Barrel Proofs that he's had in years. All right. The B523, all right. Let's see if you are correct, Chris. Real quick, 3 quick, easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know what are your fans. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me know your thoughts, rather. Are you a fan? That's what I meant to say. Are you a fan of A, wheated bourbons? And B, are you a fan of Larceny Barrel Proof? Last but not least, please make sure you also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. Fair? All right, here we go, folks. Cheers. Oh, spill some out of the glass. Spilling things. Oh, yeah. Damn, that is good. Wow. All right. Okay, hold on. Let me get a little bit more. Woo. Oh, wow. That is very rich. A lot more brown sugar in the palate than was there in the nose. Definitely has some sweetness, like from the leather, the chocolate notes and the fruit notes in the nose. But in the palate, that had a ton of like a brown sugar note in the palate, a lot more than that was there in the nose. Nice long finish. Again, coming in at 124.4. Definitely packs a solid punch, but isn't like overwhelming, like almost like a, I can never get away from saying Stag Jr., but it doesn't have like that Stag Jr. kind of a punch where you're like, bow, like Mike Tyson, you're done. It's not like that. It's very much a refined cask strength bourbon. I like this a lot. Damn. I might be eating my words. I think Chris Bruno was correct. This might be one of the best Larceny Barrel Proofs in a long time. Damn. All right, let's get a little bit more. Damn. That is pretty damn good. All right. So we're going to do 2 verdicts. Number 1, is that a buy, a do not buy, leave it on the shelf? Absolutely. It's a buy. For a $65 cask strength wheated bourbon, that is $65 to $75, I should say. That is flat out amazing. And I do agree with Chris. Probably one of the better cask strength whiskeys from Larceny Barrel Proof that I've had probably in the last year. That's actually really, really good. I know I'm sharing the glass, but I'm going to try this old A122 just to see the quick key difference, if there is any, just to make sure. Just to see. All right. Let's give this one a second real quick. Now, I've had this one obviously for about a year, even a little bit over a year, technically. So this should be pretty much well open and so forth. So let's see what we got here. Nose, nice, not bad. The nose on that one, way better. Way more rich, way more well-rounded from a nose standpoint. This is a ton of this one here, the A122. Very peppery. And tons of leather as well. Peppery and leather. All right, let's get into this palate. Wow. So I'm not going to lie. This is very good. But comparing the two, Chris, you're right. This B523 is way more well-rounded. Everything in the nose of the B523 matches the palate. And the surprise for the B523, what I really liked about it, is the fact that that brown sugar note kind of came back in it as well. This one, the A122, is it good? Sure. But is it outstanding compared to that one? Not at all. Doesn't have a ton of brown sugar. Has a lot more leather, a lot more like peppery kind of notes as well. You do get some caramel, but that one is way more well-rounded. So if you're out there hunting and by chance you happen to see an old school one, in this case the A122 versus the B523, hands down, grab that B523. I am now on the hunt again myself for this bottle. Cheers, everybody.